What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video we're going to go over the 6 killers of every single eBay store. Everyone has the same 6 killers, so let's get straight into the content. If you guys have never been here before, I have 2 stores. I have Reseller Nirvana, which I just started. This store I should make $100,000 profit part-time. And then I have a bigger store, Daily Refinement, where I am the owner-operator. So I work in this store and I have 2 people working for me. And my goal is to make $350,000 per year in this store. There's actually 3 models I think that I could do myself. Now this is different for everyone, but I could do this part-time as I'm doing with the Reseller Nirvana store. I could go full-time with no employees, and then I could do what I'm doing right now, which is 150 items every day with 2 people helping me. Now these models are a lot different, but the same 6 killers are in all the different models. Number 1, revenue goes down as competition gets more stiff. So as I've been doing this the last 4 years, the prices have come down on pretty much everything. There's more and more people reselling, more and more people are losing their jobs, or more people don't want to work for the man, so they work for themselves. So revenue keeps going down. So I have here average sale price of 23 bucks for my store. That's gone down every single year just because there's more people reselling. I don't see that trend stopping. So I see as more and more people resell, I think that the competition will continue to go down. Number 2, shipping goes up twice a year. Okay, so right now my average shipping is like $6, but I assume that will go all the way up to $8 in the next couple of years. I don't know if we can get really much more than $8. I think the government will have to subsidize, but at $8, that really cuts a lot of the profit significantly. It's pretty dramatic. When first class mail hits $8, a lot of resellers won't be able to resell anymore. Next, eBay fees go up. eBay fees always go up. They'll continue to go up because eBay has overhead and they're a company, they're for profit. And so I imagine that will continue to go up. Thrift store prices, because I sell mainly pre-owned stuff, are going to continue to go up. Wholesale goes up, liquidation goes up. Minimum wage and the cost of living goes up. So wherever you're living, the rent's going to be more or the mortgage is going to be more. You know, and so if you hire people, their minimum wage is going to go up, and people have a more expensive cost of living, so that's going to continue to go up. And then finally, your storage and warehouse costs are going to have to go up. Yeah, this year so far in 2021, I have had 3 rent increases in the same year in my storage unit, and it's pretty common, I would say, in all the storage units I've ever been in. They're raising it at least twice a year, and the reason is because people just keep buying more and more and more stuff, and they have no place to put it. So all the storage units where I live in California are super duper full. There's not even with the rent increases, it's still very difficult to get a storage unit. There's just a lot of stuff. So these 6 things make it harder and harder to sell. So it's interesting to me because there's 3 different models here. I could do this part-time, where maybe I have a full-time job and I'm making as much money as I can on the side. I would consider myself like relatively knowledgeable with clothing. I would not consider myself an expert, but I do know a lot when it comes to selling in my particular category. So I can make $100,000 selling clothing part-time because I already know how to do it and I know where to buy the clothing. So that's like, those 2 things could take years to develop. If you know what to sell and where to find it and how to sell that item, you're probably going to be making a very, very high per hour. The part-time store, I'm making between $75 and $150 per hour. If I did that full-time, it would change a little bit, okay? Because full-time and part-time, if I was doing this by myself, I would do it at home. So I would have no rent cost. And the wages I put here at $5,000 would just be to myself. I think it's important when you get to a certain level to run your company as a company, and you work for your company as an employee. And that way it's just easier. You get some tax savings. I'm not a CPA, but talk to a tax accountant and go over the benefits of starting a corporation. But I think you should just pay yourself $5,000 per month. That's a reasonable wage. So full-time and part-time, I would do it at home, so there's no rental cost. If you're doing it as an owner-operator with employees, usually you do it off-site. So I'm paying $2,400 for rent right now. I'm in California, and other places it might not cost that much. I've got a really good deal because I have 1,200 square feet. Where I live, $2 per square foot is a banging deal. So wages, when I'm working for myself, is just for me. But when I'm working with other people, I've got to pay them. Plus, in California, if you have 1 employee, you have to offer workers' compensation. So it's expensive to have people here, but then if you don't actually have employees, you don't have as much buy-in. The people who work for me are professionals. I don't have my cousin, I don't have somebody who's not really serious. The people that work for me, that's what they do. That's their profession. Right, so big difference between that and somebody that you have come over on Saturday and help you. That's not the same thing. They're not all in committed because that's not their only source of income. Cost of goods is different when you're an owner operator. Usually you have to buy bulk. So I'm paying more money for my bigger store because I need to pay up to get more inventory into my store. It's expensive to get inventory to come to me, right? In the full-time and part-time versions of this, I wouldn't have to do that. I could just go get inventory myself. Garage sales, thrift stores, Goodwill bins is where I would focus on. And you can get your cost of goods down to $2, especially if you're buying lots, liquidation that's local and you can drive to it. You would be in this bucket where your cost of goods is really low. Some people have a cost of goods under $1 because they are buying bulk locally. They just drive and go pick it up, go home. So they're saving money on buying it bulk and no shipping costs. But for me, running it at a larger scale, because I need to list 150 items a day with a bigger store, the cost of goods is going to go up slightly versus just me going to garage sales by myself. I just left the average sale price here of $23. I think this is probably going to continue to drop just the market. More and more people are reselling and less people have money. If you look at the division between rich and poor, 60% of people don't even have $500. So, I mean, they don't have $500, so they're not really buying stuff over $20 on eBay. They're just buying necessities. So the number one category for sure is just going to be affordable stuff that people need. If you're selling rare, cool, unique stuff, the amount of people who can afford it is just shrinking down. So this is also interesting looking at the headaches. Right now, I have over $100,000 a month in sales, but I basically have $2,700 a day in bills. So just like shipping it's a lot. Shipping is almost $1,000 per day, right? So when you are an owner operator, you have a lot more responsibility. So yes, I could maybe make $350,000 a year. Maybe it's a little bit more stable than doing it for myself. But if you look at the difference between me doing it full time and as an owner operator, it's not really that much different. If you're an expert in what you're selling, you're probably going to make the same or just slightly less than with employees because there's a lot less costs doing it at home and you're just paying yourself. So, looking at this, it is really interesting. I'm only barely making more money than doing it by myself. And there's a lot more headaches when you're doing it with other people. It is interesting. So the way I look at it right now, and this is my conclusion for this video, which is I think every year I do this, I have to add another employee to make the same amount of money. Okay, so that's a pretty insane conclusion that I'm making from doing this, but I don't see revenue going up. That's not going to happen. There's more and more stuff. More and more people are reselling. I don't see shipping going down. Shipping continues to go up. I don't see eBay being a charity and decreasing the fees. Thrift store prices aren't going to go down. And people aren't buying new stuff. So people are saying, oh, if enough people stop shopping at the thrift stores. Are you talking about resellers? If resellers stop shopping at thrift stores, that's fine. They're going to say, see ya, thank you for not coming in. They're selling it to regular people. If you go to thrift stores, not everyone in there is a reseller trying to make a buck. They're just in there because it's cheaper than the mall. I don't see thrift store prices going down. Since I've been doing this the last 4 years, thrift prices have been going up every single year. I don't see that going away. Cost of living, minimum wage has never gone down during my lifetime. And then the rental storage costs, for some reason, even though America is broke, they keep buying more and more stuff. There's just less inventory. There's less houses for sale. There's less places to rent. There's just not a lot. And a lot of the people who are growing up these days are just living with their parents. There's not more housing for them. So this is kind of interesting. I think that my conclusion is, I think every year I'm going to have to hire one more person to make the same amount of money since I have chosen reselling as my career. So just an interesting thought. I hope this is interesting for you guys. Please smash the like button. Consider subscribing. Please join my Patreon group with my colleague Tech and Sports. It's at patreon.com/the Resellers Podcast. Let's check it out right now. If you join the $4.99, you can listen to our podcast. We're coming up on episode number 51. There is an initiation fee, so you pay up front and then you pay on the first of every single month. So $4.99 to listen to 51 episodes of us two talking about doing this for a living. You can join our Facebook group for $35. If you end up not making more money with any of these tiers, we will happily refund you, because the purpose of this group is to help you guys make more money, save more time. I definitely recommend that you buy the annual version because you save 16%, and it's going to take a while for you to get good at reselling. At this point, from talking to literally thousands of resellers, I kind of have an idea of how to do this at a high level, but that's a lot different than doing it at a high level. I've tried to match my colleague Tech and Sports. He was at $250 a day. I tried that for a couple of days and everything that I do exploded, so I can't operate at that level. $150 is pretty much the max I can do with two people, and then by myself, you can see how crazy this is. By myself, I can do 80. With myself and two other people, I can only do 150 because it takes time and resources for me to manage them. So you would think I would triple up, right? Which is what I thought. I had myself and two people and I was trying to run at 240. But it doesn't work that way because we're all working full time and there's more everything, more customer service, more shipping. And I couldn't even do it. I was trying to do it, but one day I had like 200 sales one day. And then the next day it took the entire day to ship and put everything back. And I didn't have any time left to do any of the other stuff. So it is a lot more complicated to run more people, and you just make a little bit more each time you add somebody. But I think you're going to need that in the future as it becomes more difficult. So if you want to do this for a living, I think we're one of the only groups online where people are in the group actually doing it for a living. There's plenty of people out there who talk about just finding stuff at garage sales and haul videos. This isn't really a channel for that, though. This is for people who want to do this for a living. So I appreciate you guys. Please smash the like button. Consider subscribing. See you next time.